All right. Well, I'm going to jump into it. So we always start with oils. We start with our darkest value first. And so that is right in through here. And the darkest values, a lot of times you scrub them in a little bit more. And so I'm looking at both my outline drawing, so I know where the boundaries are, but also trying to figure out where things go in here. Now this is a good example, as you start to see as I'm putting these paints in here, that if I stretch it really, really thin, you start to see that there's a little bit of a thinness to the paint. It's not quite as opaque, and so I have to put it on just a little bit thicker, because the brown, the white of the board kind of shows through on the brown. And so I'm just looking in through here to make sure I have the stuff we're doing correct on this. Now this one, the color that's in the on my reference photo, it's not quite as dark a brown as this one is on that one. But maybe we make it, I want to experiment for a second while I'm halfway started there. This one is, this was my purple red, which is a lot of times the actual color of alizarin crimson is purple red. And I'm looking at it and I'm not liking the brown, the straight up brown on that one. I wanted to have a little bit more of a red tint to it, but I didn't want it to go lighter. And so I used some alizarin crimson, and I think I'm going to like that a little bit better on there. So now as we have this color, instead of just regular dark brown, it has a little bit of a reddish color to it. And I think I like that better. So that was mixing in a little bit of purple brown or purple red, or otherwise known as alizarin crimson, with the other. If I remember correctly, the formula that I remember hearing, it was about a half and half. Half of the burnt umber, half of alizarin crimson. But I do like that better as far as putting a little bit of a reddish color to that. So I'll probably work in sections on that. I'll work up here first. And I'm trying to be a little cognizant of brush strokes too, as we pull that across the area. And for right now, I can paint straight from my palette. At the end of the class period, at the end of this session, I'll go ahead and I'll wrap the paints into the plastic. There we go. Yeah, this dark color takes a little bit of effort to have it color it in there. And then my board is a little bit textured too. It's not a real smooth board. It's got a lot of stipple to it, kind of. Which I think is kind of a good thing. Now the nice thing about this painting that we're going to do here, because of its sections, we don't really have to blend anything. Oh, we can, but we don't have to, because they are broken up into individual sections on where we're putting our paint, which is kind of a cool thing. And you'll notice that it works fairly well. I mean, I'm liking it. I think it looks like the can here. So that was a big area, huh? That was a monstrously big area for our different colors, our first color application here. Oh, spiffy. Doesn't get much spiffier than that, huh? Okay, I need a paper towel as well. Oh, thank you. Now I'm just going to work in sections on this one rather than the whole can. I could go in and put in all the dark everywhere this reddish color, but I'm going to elect not to do that. I want to put it in sections. Okay, so now I'm going to work in this section over here, and so we thought that this value right here was going to be that next piece, the next value over. And you can see that the white shows through a little bit, so I'm going to have to bulk that up just a little bit. And the nice thing about the oil paints is you can paint over them if we make mistakes. And so that went a little bit up here. And I think, what's in the middle? Okay, so in the O, okay. Let's blend these in a little bit more here. Scrub that in a little bit. And so now we have our next value in there. And this I wanted to go, it goes all the way to the G. Okay. Oops, I gotta get up in here. Might have to get me a smaller brush to get the fill in that center of the R on that. Now I want to treat some of my brush strokes to make sure everything's going in the right direction. Like that. Okay. Now we're going to go into our other next value. The next value over was this one. And it went kind of like that. That's this guy. And it's a subtle difference between the two. It's just a little bit lighter. Now this one is not a real dominant change in color, or value I should say, on this one. And I'm going to utilize a little bit of that transparent nature to make just a little lighter into that. So then I have my change from that to that one. And this should not be a dramatic change, right? Should be a little bit of a change. Okay. Now let's go on to the red. The actual red section on this. Okay. Now this is going to be the more intense of the colors. And so it's going to look a little bit more brilliant. Okay. Now I do have some on the other side of here. I think I'm going to go back out and I'm going to take some of this and I'm going to put it just right here. There's just a touch of it. That's this one. Remember, this was a real similar value. And then I wanted the next darkest one next to that. Now here, there's a little bit of a change. There's this gray that they have that's right over on this side. That's kind of, it's gray because it's part of the light on that one. So I can kind of choose what I want this to be, whether I want to keep it with the gray like it is up over here, or whether I want to treat it with the red of some sort on there. The reason that I'm thinking of that is because, like down here we have this C, right, this here. Now that's in white normally, and so I'm going to be using some of the gray to create that part in here. So I'm just going to make this gray instead of red on those. That's just one of the things the program did, but it's going to look more natural if we go the other way. So I think what I'm going to do is first I'm going to go back here, and time for my light pinky color. There's just a little bit in here. Right? Because it's getting lighter. Some of my pink is mixing in with my graphite. So we're narrowing in on the white parts here, I guess, huh? And some of our N, we see a little bit of it. So I'm taking this pinky color into here a little bit so that we can see that N. Kind of like that. And then I'm also going to come back over here and I'm going to use my pinky color out over here as well. Kind of like that. Now finally, the moment we've been waiting for on that one is we needed some white in here. So I've cleaned off my brush. Now the white of the paper or the board is a different white than the white of the paint. So that's why we need to come back in and put in the white over the white. Down into here. It's a little bit more striking of a white. And then I was also going to put some white just over here on the side, because I think that's my light source is coming from this side, so I wanted to have that here. A little bit of graphite mixing into making it gray. So I'm going to put some more white in over top of it. Maybe let that dry a little bit. Kind of like that. So now I've taken that section right across here and I put in I haven't put in my white for in the lettering. I am going to use a smaller brush to make that happen. I think I need that as a thingy on that one. But that's putting those colors in there. So we'll try to put a pause